So you have an Unstable Universe movie for me? Yes sir I do, and this one's called Breaking into Minecraft's Most Illegal Vault. Aw, people love heist movies, so who's this one about? The main character of this franchise is a guy named Wemmbu. And what's his deal? He's sort of an arrogant solo type who thinks he's really good at PvP. Well, is he though? Depends on the episode. Fair enough. And how does this movie open? The video starts with him finding a player named Spoke being suspicious. What kind of suspicious stuff is he doing? Walking to someone else's base. Is that really that suspicious? No, not really, but Wemmbu decides to go invisible and follow him anyways. Feels pretty unnecessary. He must be really bored. You bet he is. And it turns out that Spoke was actually doing some suspicious stuff with this other player. Oh no. Yeah, Wemmbu overhears them talking about some exploited items they got their hands on. And Wembu's pretty nervous about this because Spoke has a history of abusing these sorts of items on other Minecraft servers. So I imagine Wemmbu tells the server admin about the exploited items on the server, right? To be honest, having a server admin would ruin the entire point of this series, so that's just not gonna be a thing, I decided. Fair enough. So what happens next? Well, you see, Spoke has these exploited items now, and he's gotta hide them in a really secure location to make sure people don't find out about them. Right, so he hides them in a super hidden vault or something. Pretty much the exact opposite, actually. Spoke hires this other player to build a whole bunch of monuments so he can hide the items in there. That feels pretty obvious. Wouldn't players be investigating those sorts of structures? Yeah, Spoke realizes that, so he hires some guards to make sure that no one messes with the monuments, and Wembu's gonna try out to be one of those guards. Okay, so I imagine Spoke has a list of requirements for being a guard for his super secret items, right? Only one, actually, and all it is to make sure that each guard has a unique thing they can bring to the team. And what's Wembu's skill? Blowing stuff up. What? You see, Wemmbu has access to what's called an orbital strike cannon, which can very easily blow up any place on the server. So his skill is prep time. Basically, yeah. And how does blowing stuff up help protect the monuments? It doesn't, but you see, Spoke doesn't want Wemmbu blowing up the monuments, so he hires him as a guard anyways. Wow, that's some pretty great intimidation tactics. So what happens after he gets hired? Well, you see, Wemmbu immediately tries to break into the monuments, but Spoke catches him every time. So I imagine he gets fired then. Surprisingly, not yet. Wemmbu first holds a stake out in the end to see what Spoke's been doing there. Why does he do that? Well, you see, Wemmbu notices that Spoke goes to the end dimension after he visits the monument, so he feels like there's some sort of connection with the exploited items. Works for me. So what does Wemmbu find out on this stakeout? He finds out Spoke has a hidden stash of items in the obsidian end pillars. So he respawns the dragon, which destroys all the items instantly. And he just had the items to do that on him? That's what we're going with. And plus, respawning the ender dragon keeps Spoke in the end with Wemmbu, so they get into a bit of a fight. And what's Wembu's power level in this fight? Incredibly high. It's almost impossible to do anything to him. Doesn't Spoke have exploited items that make him super dangerous to go up against? Yeah, but Spoke doesn't have them on him. They're still in the monuments. Ah, right. So how does this fight end? With Wemmbu losing Spoke somewhere in the outer end islands. Well, it must be pretty hard to find someone after an escape like that. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Really? Yeah, Spoke's just gonna happen to be in the first monument Wemmbu goes to after the fight. A very predictable hiding place. Yes, sir, it is. And now they're gonna fight again, but this time Spoke has OP armor. Oh no. Yeah, very intimidating. For about 5 seconds. Wait, what was that? Well, you see, we still set Wembu's power level really high this episode, so Wembu's still gonna have the upper hand for pretty much the entire fight. Even to the point of breaking one of the OP armor pieces. Makes you wonder why Wemmbu was so afraid of these items when he can clearly just break them so easily. Shut up. So the fight ends with Spoke getting away, and Wemmbu this time doesn't know where to find him. So does he check the other monuments? It turns out all the monuments actually got destroyed to cover up all the exploits going on there. Aw, property damage is tight. I'm glad you like it because there's just gonna be so much more in the future. Yes! So how does Wemmbu end up finding Spoke? Well, you see, another player named Paradex2 tells Wemmbu where to find Spoke because he's upset that the monuments got destroyed. Wouldn't he be upset at Wemmbu since it was Wembu's job to protect the monuments from being destroyed in the first place? Not important, because it turns out that those coordinates perfectly led to Spoke's secret vault that he's been keeping the exploited items in. Oh boy, what sort of defenses does this place have? It's got all the Minecraft classics. It's got wardens. It's got elder guardians for mining fatigue. It even has 3 guards with full netherite gear. Aw, sick. So how does Wemmbu get in? Wemmbu just goes for it. What does that mean? Well, you see, Wemmbu actually just spends about 20 minutes brute forcing his way through all of the different defenses. Huh. And what does he find inside? That's the twist, actually. It turns out that this wasn't a vault at all, but a prison designed to trap him and kill him. Oh no, how is he trapped? Well, you see, Wemmbu gets stuck in this pit with a warden and a whole ton of minecart chests, so he can't eat or place blocks or do anything. So how does he escape? He just breaks out. But you said the trap isn't actually that strong because Wemmbu can just break the minecarts and then, eat food again, and plus the warden's distracted from all the other minecart sounds, so it's not even that hard to evade the warden. Well, okay then. So I imagine at least the guards are doing something to stop Wemmbu from getting out. Oh, they're gone now, I decided. They're done. There's no more of them. So their entire job was to prevent him from getting into the prison that was built for him? Exactly, yeah. Well, okay then. I bet Spoke is at least pretty worried that Wembu's breaking out of the prison. Not really, no. He just watches Wemmbu as he escapes and says, "You can't get out of my trap. There's just no way." And then he walks down a hall and goes AFK for a bit. Wow, this guy's not concerned about anything. He's not. So Wembu's able to find him and start attacking him. So Spoke has to run away for a bit before using an Ender Pearl stasis chamber to teleport out of the fight before he dies. Very cool. And that's how it ends. What do you think? To be honest, it sounds fantastic. My only critique is that the ending seems to come a bit too soon. So maybe for the next one we can make it just a little bit longer? I guess I can make the next one a bit longer.